What's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to be doing a review on the all new Nike Romeleo 4. Now I know a load of you have been wondering what the score is with these shoes. Are they as good as the old 2, which everyone loves? And I'm going to break it down for you now. So when it comes to the look of Romeleo 4, in my opinion, I'm not a massive fan of the lower strap, but it does, if you notice, go all the way through the bottom of the shoe. The reason why they've done this is to help pull the front of the foot down onto the shoe, similarly to what they did on the Romeleo 2, but what we didn't see with the old Romeleo 3 and the Romeleo 3 XD, which was just an attempt to try and bridge the gap between when this shoe came out. Now I saw this shoe nearly 2 years ago and I was impressed when I saw it then. They've kept all the things that we loved about the 2 but try and modernized it. So the things that I love about the base of this shoe is, again, it's got the winged fronts. Now you notice that it had it on the 2 as well, and very similarly on these you'll notice they're pretty much bang on, if not a little bit wider on the new Romeleo 4, which is great for stability when you're snatching or when you're jerking for the foot to plant flat. Now what they did on the new 4 is a bit of an update, is you'll notice how much wider they've made it at the back. Now this is a considerable bit wider than what we saw on the Romeleo 2, which adds to the stability. Now you'll notice this when you see the lifting videos that I've been doing recently in these new Romeleo 4s. I'm pretty happy with these. Now I'd normally go down a full size when it comes to picking my lifting shoe. The reason for that is I normally don't wear socks in my lifting shoes when I'm going for a heavy lift, which means a size down makes it feel a little bit tighter and I feel a little bit more connected to the shoe. So I'm currently wearing a size 10 UK on these, but I'm normally a 9, so these are a little bit bigger than what I normally have, but I wouldn't have said that's been too much of a problem. I'd say no more than half a size down to a size down is all you need. Now, what you'll notice about the tongue on the new Romeleo 4 is it's nice and thick. This is something that they changed back to doing on the Nike Romeleo 3 XD because it was something that we loved about the 2. Now, I remember my first pair of Nike Romeleo 3s when I got them. First thing I did when I put them on is I pulled the tongue up and it ripped off in my hand. So they've corrected that for this shoe, and what you'll also find as well on the inner sole is that only give you the heavy inner sole option, which is so much better. At the end of the day, if you're going to be doing heavy lifting, you want that solid inner sole, which you'll find is exactly the same as what they used to put in the Romeleo 2, which again means that that front part of the shoe is a little bit more rigid, but still just enough so that when you're doing a split jerk, you feel like you're landing solid. Now, I'd say in terms of weight of the shoe, it's pretty much bang on. If anything, the new 4 is very slightly lighter. A lot of people steer away from heavier lifting shoes because they're worried that it's going to make their feet move slowly. No, at the end of the day, if you're lifting heavy weights, the last thing you need to worry about is your shoe being 50 grams, not even that heavier than your other shoe. Now, in terms of the heel height, which again is something that people always question or worry about, you'll see shoe to shoe pretty much bang on to what we had on the Nike Romeleo 2. So in my opinion, I guess wrapping this up after having used both shoes, obviously Romeleo 2 being leather and this one being a synthetic material, I am very pleased with this shoe and can happily say the 2 is now going out the window and this will be my shoe of choice. Price wise, this is very similar to what the 2 was. When people are wondering, oh, is it worth spending the money on a brand new pair of lifting shoes? Look, at the end of the day, this shoe is not going to make you lift more, but when you're learning the sport of Olympic weightlifting, having a pair of lifting shoes does help you get a little bit deeper in your squat position and sit upright, but also adds a great deal of stability when your foot's planted on the floor, which again, when you're throwing a heavy weight over your head, makes life 10 times easier. Now I know you'll see, oh, but Sonny, you lift in flip-flops. I do that because it doesn't make a massive difference to me because I'm very stable because I've been lifting so long, regardless of where I'm a lifting shoe or not. But I will always lift my heavier weights with a lifting shoe on. So it is worthwhile investment when you're starting out for Olympic weightlifting. However, if you think that the lifting shoe is going to solve your mobility issues, no, unfortunately it won't. It will only assist you. So I'd suggest spending some time going through some mobility work always prior to your lifting and getting comfortable in your squat position first. with your lifting shoe on or without, doesn't matter, and then putting the lifting shoe on for your lift to give you that little bit of extra help. But the mobility issue must be addressed first. So, like I said, overall, Romeleo 4 is getting a thumbs up from me. You can access or buy these, I think, at Whip Fitness online. They do international, worldwide shipping. Go and get yourself knocked out. I even like the crazy pink color that's just dropped. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe, and share it around with your gym friends. And go get yourself some lifting shoes if you haven't got any yet.